Oh, hello, hello, everyone. So, hello, Jack, Nikki. Hello, Puria. Yes, I do, Puria. The taller girl, yes. Und, meaning and Jursix, that's the first time you're here, Jursix, right? Says, hi, Mehran, first time come. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what I see. Am I smart or am I smart? So I'm still not senile. Going oiled, but oiled. Going old, but still got it. Says, hi, Mehran, first time commenting on your live stream. Good. And one-legged pigeon says, hello, Mehran, we miss you. Well, I miss you guys too, but you know what? Honestly, if I have the number of subscribers that I want, then this channel will make money. And when it makes money, I would dedicate more time. Otherwise, I have to make ends meet, which I have to attend to my other business. that's where the money is. So I have no choice. Otherwise, my passion and love is here. However, the rest of it. So Jack says, that's a nice black t-shirt. It's like I'm looking into the void. Oh, really? Is it? Yeah, okay then. I take it that it's okay. Emmanuel says you look younger today. Well, thank you very much. It's probably the t-shirt and the haircut. But, I've increased my gym workout as well. So that could have something to do with it. And Puria says, I told her that I love her. Oh, did you now? Listen, guys, it's getting juicy here. Everybody pay attention. So if you remember, Puria had a crush on his friend, a girl who's taller than him. And he, as we talked about it before, decided to tell her that how he feels about her. And so Puria now tells us that he told her that he loves her. And Puria says that she went so emotional, almost crying. Okay, everybody's a suspense. She said she loves me a lot. Wunderbar. She said she loves me a lot as well. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Isn't she lovely? I don't know. I don't have the music going. And so I would have delighted to hear that. Hip, hip, hooray! All right. So, thank you for the good news. And there's a but here. What? Put this but with all those tears, she said, okay, I gotta have tea for this one. Okay, give it to me. What the hell is going on now? What's her butt? I mean, what is the butt about? I remember, guys, in all these things that we are getting all excited and happy and this and that, it's all a game. It's all life. Doesn't matter this way, that way. If this didn't work, next one. And Puria says, she said, I love you as a brother. Oh, okay, all right. You should have said that earlier. I wouldn't have jubilated. All right. Well, she was too tall anyhow, right? So, next, this simply, the good news about it is that you got it out of your system and you now know how she feels and how you feel. And that's what usually it happens. You know, girls think that the wonderful thing that is in front of them, as soon as he tells them, then suddenly they think, oh, well, you know, maybe somebody else is better. So that's her loss. No worries, and go on looking for a girl who's compatible to you and a bit shorter. And he said, she said, I love you as a brother. We have been friends for 5 years. She said, please, after this night, please continue hanging out. And I was so cool. Good for you. Of course you're cool. You're a good guy, a nice guy. Any girl of decent quality would love to have you as a boyfriend. And so she doesn't have the intelligence or the resonance, and that's okay. Well, perfect, Puria. That's good. Tell her, listen, if that's the problem, if the height is a problem, I'll bring my little footstool. And then I'll be taller than you. No problems. If that's her hang-up is. But Puria, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you that you had the guts to say it, because it doesn't really take that much guts. You got to be a man that you are. Tell how you feel and put it out on the table. Do you want it? Do you like me or you don't like me? Simple. Clear path. Good for you. Now, let's see what else we have here. That was a roller coaster, Puria, the way you worded out. I go up and down, but you know what? It's perfect now. Keith Waller says, I'm 52, my ex-partner is 53. Keith? I need gender and where you tuning in from. Keith says, I'm 52, my ex-partner is 53. We broke up 6 months ago and they are having sex. How do I block that out of my mind? Who is they? It's you and her, isn't it? It's just one person. You're 52 and she's 53. Maybe you want to elaborate a little bit on that. All right, in the meantime, I'll go to the super chat. We have a super chat. Petite man, £10, and that is highly appreciated. So let's go to, where is Petite Man? Ah, there it is. Petite Man says, Mehran, please don't leave us. I honestly, if I have the choice, this is the career that I have I'm passionate about. I love it. I believe I know what I'm doing. And sometimes I do make sense. And I have received thousands, I mean literally thousands, of appreciative letters and emails and comments, and made with their own emails told me that I've made life-changing effects. The channel has had life-changing effects on their lives, and I'm delighted about that. And I don't want to leave, but we need money. We need to make this channel recognized, and I'm doing whatever I can. But lately, I have not been able to be as focused and as dedicated to it because I have to make money, and that is my other business was suffering, so I had to focus on that. Otherwise, nothing would work, and then probably have to go live in the jungle. So a real natural lifestyle. So I love to be here with you guys. I love to have workshops around the world, travel and so on, and share a lot more than I can share here in person. There's so many things I want to share and teach, but I cannot do it over the internet necessarily, because it needs explanations of physical examinations and tests of how the mind and body affecting each other, and show you in exercises that is needs my attention there for you to know a thing or two about your mind and its powers and so on. And then the whole workshop would be maybe a weekend workshop that I could go different places in the world and present that. Anyhow, we'll see. At the end of this month, I have, well, actually next week I have a speaking engagement here in town, and we'll see how that goes, and if we get to be placed on the map here and there. So I wish we could make a video out of that engagement, but it's going to be in English and Farsi, so I'm not sure how useful it would be, and then we got to get consent from everybody attending so we can put it on YouTube. So we won't do that. I'll just go there and see how it goes. But in the meantime, you guys can really help to make us be more noticed on YouTube. YouTube algorithm is very difficult to crack into it, but I'm doing whatever I can, and we now have some help from one of the talented people that I know in India. She's going to be helping me with my the promotional stuff for things that we need to market and get more noticed on YouTube and so on. So let's see if Petit Man has any question with that generous donation. No questions. So we'll go to where we were. I guess we were talking to Keith. Oh, that's the same. Keith hasn't gotten back to us. Keith says, hi, I'm 52. My ex-girlfriend is 50. Ah, there we go. My ex-girlfriend is 53. She has met a new partner and they are having sex together. Aha. We only broke up 6 months ago. And how do I block that out of my mind? I'm from UK, Norwich. Hello, Keith, and thank you for being here. And I appreciate your participation. Well, one of the things that is very important in our lives and how the mind works is that whatever you try to block, it creates a resistance. In other words, as long as you are not pushing, there is no pushback. I was talking to a client of mine yesterday, and we went through this very little short exercise. And if you notice, there's a wall behind me, and every one of you probably have a wall close to you. It's very simple. There's nothing genius about it. If you just put your fist on the wall, like this, like so, and you're relaxing on the wall, so the wall is feeling good, you're feeling good, your hand feels good, your knuckles feels good, and no problems. As soon as you start pushing on the wall, you see your knuckles feeling hurt, because the wall is also pushing back, right? That's when the resistance starts, because you're trying to force something, so there's a force coming back. It's just something everybody knows. But the same thing applies when you try to block things, because when you block things, you're trying to push away. When you push away, it pushes back. Because when you're trying to push something away, what are you doing? You have to pay focus and attention on that what you want to push away, which means your attention and your focus is on what you don't want to focus on. So pushing away means you got to have focus on it. And having focus on it is exactly opposite of what you want to get. So you don't block it. You simply pay your attention to other things. If you go to Paris and go to Louvre Museum, and you see all these beautiful paintings, and one of them you like, and even if it's Mona Lisa, the famous painting, but as soon as you can't deny seeing, you can't stop seeing Mona Lisa by saying, I'm looking at it, but I don't want to see it. But you're looking at it. So what you have to do, you can't block it because it's there. But if you turn your head around toward another painting, what's going to happen? This disappears. So you need to understand what it is that makes you think about her. And what it is the fact that you have this manly feeling of possession, intimacy, me, my ego, fear of not having that intimacy from her, the energy you spent with her through this time, that you interacted with her, the memories and the stories that you created with her during the past 6 months, and the fact that heterosexual male, it just loves women. And when you have that emotion and that program in your genes, you can't simply close that feeling. The feeling is there even if the woman is not there, because you're programmed for procreation. You're programmed to love and want and desire that. And how can you stop your desire? You got to understand your desire. I have a video called Desire and How to Stop It. So you go through the certain prerequisites for desire to be born, and then you will know where you can stop that desire from being born. And because you have all these prerequisites necessary for desire to be born in your memory with her, when you think about her in any form or shape, all those feelings that are prerequisite for desire to be born is also recorded in your memory and comes up with the actual idea of her. And then your thoughts will think that these prerequisites are met again. And they're not memory, they're actuality of prerequisites taking shape again, and then you desire her again. So what you need to find out, what you need to focus is to understand these things, and also then focus on the fact that, okay, I'm a man, and that's not the only woman that I'm programmed to like or love or want to be intimate with or be in a relationship with. I can do the same thing with any other woman that meets my criteria, meets my standards. And there are, as you know, in UK, that's where you are, unlimited number of beautiful women. And then you get to know them, and you will see that so many of them have things in common with you, which is where you build your relationship on, what things that you have in common, compatible, bond on consciousness level. Obviously, from what you told me, you guys did not have a consciousness bonding, because if you did, you wouldn't break up. And if you don't have that bonding that causes you to break up, why would you want to be with a woman who doesn't have that compatibility with you and you guys have broken up? Why would you want to be with a woman who has broken up with you? Why do you think a woman who has left you and gone with another man is still qualified to be with you? Don't you have any respect for yourself? Or do you think that just because you're 52 years old, that means it's end of life? 50 years old, 52 years old is you're at top of your game. You've got the wisdom, you've got some career, you've got some money, you've got things, and there are many women who are looking for quality man who's also got his act together and would love to get to know you. So life is not over just because this girl doesn't want to be with you and is, laying in bed with somebody else. So what? So what? World was not made because of her, and it's not going to end because she's not paying attention to you. She has the right to do whatever the hell she wants to do, and you have the right to do whatever the hell it is that you want to do. Just go and do it. Don't sit and watch. How to block, you ask? Don't sit and watch. Thoughts come into your mind, visions come into your mind, ideas come into your mind, but that doesn't mean just anything that comes to your mind should have credibility because it happened in my mind. Your mind conjures all kind of nonsense, and this treated as a nonsense. You recognize it, but you say it's not desirable, it's not enjoyable, I don't want to focus on it. Many other thoughts come to my mind, but I don't have to focus on them. As long as you don't focus on them, like Mona Lisa in Louvre, and you look somewhere else, then you wouldn't be bothered with it. You're only bothered with things in life, the thoughts that comes to your mind, images that comes to your mind, if you entertain them. Focus on them. Pay attention to them. You will not be bothered when something unwanted, undesirable comes into your mind, an image of some kind, and then you say, that is not desirable, I'm not interested in that, I want to focus on something else. So I recognize it, but I don't give it credibility and I don't entertain it. And you move on with your life. And then say, I have respect for myself and I want to have nothing to do with a woman who actually leaves me for no good reason and I'm a decent person and goes and starts a relationship with someone else. That is the reason that that woman is no longer qualified. And when you're not finding her qualified, you wouldn't want to care about what she does or what she doesn't, because you don't even desire her because she is now not meeting your standards. That's how you should think. Simple. Otherwise, we can all think, oh, it's so good, I was having sex with her, so it was, what's good about it? You can have sex with any woman out there if they're giving you the consent, but that's not a relationship. You want to have a woman that you can have a relationship with. She's bound to some manners and morals and logics and some reasonability, and the same with you, and you find things compatible and you will build something. If somebody is not ready to build something, just want to fly around here and there, she's 53 years old and she can't even have the understanding of a good relationship with a good man is important, especially at this age. So that already tells you that she's not really that smart anyhow. So let her go. Let her go jump from one branch to another branch, and you will see where she was going to get. So let's go on to so we go to okay, guys, just remember I would have to leave in about 45 minutes. Is it? No, 50 minutes. I do have an appointment to go somewhere. Now, Puri says, I have this feeling, but I don't know how to phrase it, like uncertainty maybe, a little blue maybe. Yeah, it's normal. Puriya, you should. If you didn't have this feeling of, because just as when you feel that you like something and then you find it's unavailable, then it's disappointment. But that's gonna wash away. How? Firstly, time. Secondly, you come to your senses and say, why would I even actually be interested in someone who is just friend and not interested in me in that way? That's one thing. Second, you will soon find that there are girls who are much more compatible to you than she is. Then you will also be okay in that way. And the other thing is that right now you don't have another girl in your mind, so you're constantly hanging out with this girl. And it is not a new news when a guy hangs around with a girl and they call it, oh, we're friends. It's hard to remain friend when the girl is a looker and you find many things compatible with her. Obviously, you're gonna get infatuated. You're gonna get way over what you intended it to be, a friendship, and you get to like her because you're a boy, you're a man. You're a heterosexual man, And it is not always easy to just hang around girls as if you would be able to just be friends with no feelings. It's possible, but it's not that easy. And it's natural when you actually get to like the woman that you were being friend with only, and you start having romantic emotions towards her, because that's how you're built. It's like saying, "Oh, I just like cooking. I love, putting recipes together, and I just enjoy this art of culinary art and making food." But eventually you're gonna like to taste that food. It looks delicious, looks like all the ingredients that you like in it, and you are a human being that can get hungry, and you like all the preparation of this food, and you would want to taste, or you would grow interested to explore further than just entertaining and decorating the table. You just now want to taste the food. It's natural because you're a human being, and hunger is part of your part of your system. You're a heterosexual male, you're hanging around with a girl, you find many things in common, which is the prerequisites of compatibility through your friendship. And she's a female, and you like women. You can't stop it. You're gonna fall in love with her. They may not, because for them it's a little different, but it's natural to eventually like her more than a friend, and then have the feelings that you have now. It's not because you really think she's the right one for you. It's because you've been around her, around this female long enough, and you're a male. You're gonna bound to get to love her because she's a female. She's to be adored. She's cute. She's got touches that you could never imagine. I'm not talking about physical touch, it's just the touch in communication and being in contact with her. So all of that will work you. You can't just be an Iron Man sitting there feeling nothing, and yet you're with someone so special and to you beautiful, and according to your programming, your genes, you love that gender. So don't be surprised. But at the same time, since there is nobody else around, you find her the only choice. But once you start getting to know other girls, you see that, they're much more compatible to you than she was. And the reason you were emotionally interested in her, because you were friends and you were spending lots of time, and you have the propensity and gravitation to like a woman. And that's doesn't mean she's highly qualified, just means that's your character. And everyone's every heterosexual male's character would be to have gravitation towards women. So that's what happens. All right. All right. TM says, haha, just joined this conversation whilst chatting to this beautiful woman that thinks quality but is taller. What a coincidence. So TM is 34, male, check. You work in a club, right? You're still there, I guess. That's the time. Yeah, it's Friday night. They were probably there. And we go to, and TM says, I asked her how tall she was. She's, okay. TM says, well, I guess I blew that one away. Confidence, secondary to Mehran, and I believe a woman has to appreciate you, short or tall, for the person you are. Yes, that's true. It's just, somehow these things get in the way. And TM says, oh, okay, talking to one-legged pigeon. One-legged pigeon says, hi, Mehran, 36 male, Boston. Hello. I was in a toxic relationship. I hope you're detoxificated now. Meaning broke up. For 5 years, we broke up 7 months ago. Hallelujah. It's been hard at times. Yeah, it's hard because you've been conditioned with whatever situation it was, even if it was a toxic relationship, but still it had created a certain order for you, and you got conditioned to follow that order, look for that order where your mind would find security in that order. And regardless of how toxic it was your conditioning. And that's what you're missing. You're not missing the quality of the relationship. You're missing the way things were, that you knew how things were. And that's pretty much explains it. Otherwise, no one wants to remain in a relationship that is toxic. Says it's been a hard time because I developed a bond with her kids. I raised them since they were babies. That's the hardest thing, to let go her children. You don't let go. They will, if they're old enough right now. So, 5 years you said, yeah, and the babies. That means they're only 5-year-old. Listen, move on. That's her mother's choice, and most people, not all, we definitely do not want to disrespect anyone, man or woman here, any gender, but most women, not all, most women do not seem to be focused on the effect of their lifestyle and behavior and choices on their children. They seem to think they're entitled to a life that it's definitely perfectly suited them, and the husband or the good boyfriend or the good husband or the children at one point all come second to her. And these are the kind of women that you don't want to hang around, and you don't want to be focused on, as they are oblivious to their more important duties and responsibilities in life, which is their children, and how their behavior, their lifestyle, their actions affects the children while they're grown up. This could be to do with deciding to divorce a good man, or breaking a good relationship with their boyfriend, just because they have this idea of some kind that I'm missing out. And of course, in almost all cases, they go out and they do whatever the hell it is that they thought they need to do so they won't miss out on life. And years later, they figure out they didn't gain anything, and they've actually lost something that could have been so wonderful. And that is the curse of making a bad decision. And that is something that you can at least feel, karma. It's not to be happy about it, but that's the way it is. So, which means she has the right to make all the decisions that she thinks she wants to make for herself. And often, or sometimes, these personal decisions come with a high cost of affecting children and affecting a good quality of life. And impatience and big-headedness and ego will make them make such mistakes, which of course it is not limited to women. Men also make these mistakes too, but we're talking about this particular case, which is your case. So, let go. You have no legal right to be in contact with those children. And as unfortunate as it is, I guess you can be happy that you've done your best while you were there for the kids, and the kids will remember it, and perhaps once in a while you can have some kind of a visit with them, but I wouldn't recommend it really. move on with your life, because it's all going to be hindrance on your psyche, something that you really want to be positive about, but you have no control and you have no legal rights to make that come together, which is going to be hurtful to you. So move on. And this message is held for review. Okay, let's see what it is. It's Alex. Alex says, hello Mehran. Hello Alex. Male 25 in Sweden. And Alex says, hello Mehran, maybe a different subject, but what do you think about no-fap? In brackets, it means abstaining from masturbation, porn, etc. Male 25 in Sweden. Well, it's a very good idea not to be so. This beeping sound of whatever truck it is out there is driving me nuts. Having said that, now let me continue. First of all, there are 15 of us here. I better see 15 likes there, please. If you will do the thumbs up, and if you don't like it, just don't do a thing. Just say goodbye. Have a nice day. Don't click on thumbs down. We don't need any more things to get us away from the recognition of the YouTube algorithm. So it is very good idea, as I was saying to Alex, not to be so interested or focused on porn, watching porn, and so on and so forth. The reason is not any particular morality or religious or whatever. No, the reason is, those are other reasons that you might have for yourself. But what I'm trying to say is that when you're constantly watching porn, two obvious things will happen. First thing that is really bad is that you will lose respect for women. That any girl that you see out there, you will think naturally, not being devious or malicious, but because you've conditioned your brain to see so much porn, and in that the women's role was only about sex. So, and of course that generates certain kind of a conditioning in you, and then every woman that you see, you're just visualizing what you would, rather than focusing on her character, who she is, who she's not. So you kind of demean or diminish the value of the woman in your own eyes, which means your behavior and treatment of women will not be as it should be. It will affect the way you consider the value of the woman, and your behavior towards woman, any woman you love, respect, or whatever, changes to a little bit lower, if not a lot lower, because you've constantly seen the woman that we all love in one role, which was in the porno roles. So your understanding of woman's value and abilities would become very limited to what it is that you're conditioning yourself to constantly see. The second thing that happens is that you become insensitive to be so excited about sex when you constantly watch these things, because it becomes a constant things that you're constantly seeing. So its value, it's like going to an art museum, a beautiful arts of amazing quality, but if you go in there every day and see it for 3-4 hours a day every day, after a while you don't really appreciate it so much because it's a normal thing. It's not an exciting thing. It's not like the first time that you saw it, you say, wow, what an art, how could that be, and you were so into it. Yeah, but if you constantly see the same thing over and over, you will kind of lose that excitement about the novelty of this, and that eventually can affect your sexual abilities and sexual reactions when you want to have the reactions that you hope to have when you know are with the woman of your choice. So these two things should be enough for you to not watch. And of course, if you masturbate is nothing wrong with it. Everybody does that and should do that because you can't. Men, most heterosexual male that I'm talking about here, and others could be this way or that way. I don't know. They will know it about their own interests and reactions. But we're talking about one kind, and you can see if it's if it could be applicable to other types of relationships. But heterosexual male loves to trying to be politically correct. I forgot what the hell it is that I want to talk about. Trying to make sure that everybody's included and there would be no misunderstanding. I forgot what the hell I wanted to talk about. This is now a little bit challenging these days to be able to okay, let's see, what was it? Yeah, it is something that everybody needs, especially a heterosexual male who loves women and cannot necessarily find a suitable relationship with the woman of his choice, with consent, with love, and the relationship, emotional interaction. So, what are you going to do? But yet, you're programmed for procreation, so you're constantly having this urge for sex, but there's not enough possibilities or proper situation to explore that. So what do you have to do? It's going to be very difficult. So you masturbate. So that is not a problem, masturbating. But of course, when you masturbate too much, you then may not be as thirsty when you actually want to have the main course. And actuality of the actual fantasy of that biological necessity. All right, Purya says, I was so close to my dad. He is dead, but whenever I need someone to talk with, Mehran is the one. Thank you, Mehran, for helping me. Oh, anytime, Purya. My pleasure. And I know, I remember what you went through. And that will always be there. Just sometimes you can talk to your dad and think of him. It's just a wonderful thing to do. I still do. His picture is right here. And so we all love our dads, and that's wonderful. Keith says, thank you, you're the best. My pleasure, Keith. And glad that you're enjoying it. I just got to remember not to miss my appointment. Okay, so Power Star says, I have moved from her because of your videos. She is out of mind, but whenever I see her, I break down completely. Please help me out. Well, when you see her, you're just focusing on intimacy and sex because you're a heterosexual male and you love women, but you're not focusing on who she is. If whenever you see her, you focus on who she is, what she's done to you, how she broke your heart, and that makes her no longer qualified to be with you, because why would you think a woman who's broken your heart and did not take good care of you, was not respectful, and she did not try to build something with you if you were a nice, decent man, Why would you think that such a woman is still qualified? You wouldn't. If you're in the right mind, you would say no. And you would not stoop down just because you want to have sex and intimacy to say, no, whatever she has done, it's okay as long as I can get some sex, because I can get that kind of a pleasure only through her. No, it's not. You can get it through many other women out there. Find out who they are, what they are, and find compatibilities, and you guys will have a relationship, and eventually you will see that that is even far better than the one who actually broke your heart and is not treating you well, obviously. So there is no need for you to think that you need help. It's just that you got to focus your mind on the actuality and the facts. The fact is you got to have respect for yourself. The fact is that the woman who has not treated you well and you were a decent man is not qualified just because she's a woman. Being a woman is not a qualification for you to think that she meets your requirements and standards. Being a woman for a heterosexual male is one qualification. But on its own is not enough to want to be with that woman, because who you are with is her consciousness, is her persona, who she is. And who she is not represented necessarily only by the fact that she's a woman. Who she is in her consciousness. And that's the one that has decided to take that what you like, which is her body, away from you. So you gotta see if her consciousness meets your standards, not her figure and her looks. Well, we are heterosexual male. We love, adore women. So that's a no-brainer. It's not like there's so much criteria to love a woman. But what we have a relationship is with her consciousness, with her persona, who she is. That's the one you should find out. And if she doesn't measure up, then you should have enough power within you to say, I don't want to have a sexual relationship with a woman that does not meet my standards and we are not compatible, because obviously it's not going to go anywhere and it's no way to build anything. Because you cannot build a relationship based on sex, based on how you guys look like. Oh, she's beautiful, so therefore she's perfect. No, so many men have had beautiful women and they got divorced. So many women have been with their boyfriends, handsome boyfriends, and they all got divorced or broke up. Why? Because it has nothing to do with how you guys look like. It has to do with how deep your understanding of each other's consciousness is, how you bond together, how you understand each other's fears, desires, ego, how you connect and try to compromise and build and help and support each other in understanding your own fears, your own desires, your own ego, and be compatible enough to help each other to build something. And that is really only a small part of it. A small part of the relationship is about the sexuality. That's very important for us. We like our women to look the way we like, and the women would like their boyfriend, their men, to look the way they like. But that's not where the relationship is made or broken up. Relationships is always based on who we are, and who we are is in our consciousness. So the woman who breaks up with you, obviously you're not compatible, both of you, on consciousness level. And then what's the future of two people who are not compatible on consciousness level? Nothing. You might as well break up and go and find your match. And as long as it works, great. And once you guys, through your challenges of life, do evolve and change, and your consciousness changes and no longer can appreciate or be compatible with each other, then you go on to another. Unless you're really focused on learning about each other, bonding more, and sharing values, and letting your consciousnesses evolve and grow parallel together, then you got something. You're constantly evolving, but at the same time constantly compatible, becoming more understanding of each other, focused on each other, as well as you're focused on your own development. then things change that way. All right, I hope that would be helpful to you, Power Star. So, guys, I think we hit all the questions here, and I really appreciate it. What happened? Oh, we got some more? Am I mistaken? My goodness. Did I? Oh, okay. All right, let's see. Summer says, 29, Finland. Why after breakup we always obsessed about X and about who is she with now, and your brain take you in thinking that he is better than you? Well, I have really honestly answered all that in the videos that we have on the channel, over 1,500 videos right now, and you can find almost anything you can think of after breakup by typing what you feel like in the search engine of my channel. You're bound to find a bunch of videos on it. And this question is maybe 3 lines, but its answer is within many videos. So I can't really go through it, especially in this short time. Even if I had time, I wouldn't be able to do justice to the question. So please go on the channel, Summer, and key in your questions one at a time, and you'll get the videos that you're looking for. Purya says, here comes my last question. I'm going to see her in my English class for almost a year. And since we are so close, we often end up talking and playing jokes. I don't know how to react to her now. So many lessons in every live chat. No, react to her the way you like. You still, like her says, okay, I can't really laugh at that because, or I can really laugh at it even though it's not funny. Why? Because I love you. Just, make a foolish joke out of it until you feel comfortable. So don't try to hide it that, oh, I have to now pretend that I don't love her because I told her and she said, no, I don't love you that way. I love you like a brother. Now I have to pretend that I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly. No, you don't be cross. Don't be silly. Don't be arrogant, or don't be reserved or into yourself. No, be the same guy you are, but also make fun of it. Say, yeah, I know you say that because I love you and you don't. Okay, the hell with you. Just laugh it off that way until you feel comfortable about it, and then eventually you won't feel that way. When you don't feel that way, you automatically behave differently, and you will feel much more comfortable. And Jeremy says, how would you explain how to find someone who is perfect for you in all areas of life? You will never do that. And even if you do, that could have a duration because you found someone based on their consciousness, and that consciousness is constantly dynamically evolving. So it won't stay the same, like, oh, that's it. And at the same time, your consciousness is changing too. So there's always a possibility of divisions and conflicts. Grow up again. It's not like you just got it and it's going to be sustainable. It's going to be, constant. All right. And Larissa says N. All right. Purya says smiling. Okay, good. All right, guys, it's time for me to go before I need to drive to get somewhere. And so in the meantime, I want to thank you for being here. I love you all. Thank you for being here and allowing me to share a point or two with you guys. Don't forget to promote the channel, and don't forget to support the channel. Don't forget that you have over 1,500 videos here. It's a life library of all kinds of questions you might have about your relationship, your emotional reactions, and your psyche, thoughts, consciousness, the relationship between the two, fear, desire, ego, how they're born and how to stop them, how to handle them, how to understand them, and many other things that you can find on this channel. And so, in the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others, and I look forward to talk to you again, perhaps tomorrow. Bye for now.